Welcome to the molybdenum software show, where every day is a new adventure into the rift of open source and complexity. With us is Jeremy, and Jeremy is about to tell us about his contribution to none-ls.
That's the one. Yeah, you've been hounding me about it for a while, which I've been like every day. I'm like, I hope I find some time to work on it. I finally woke up today, and one of my PRs got to ship it, and I was like, great. That was the one that made this one command async, which allows us to give a better experience for Nix users. So I got that merged up. I woke up to that being merged this morning, which is great. So I rebased the Nix Flake Fumt built in on top of that. And that PR is no longer a draft, so hopefully it'll get merged.
So all this is an optimization because it's somewhat of a better experience than running Nix Fumt.
Exactly.
Which is what I've been doing. But I've been doing it from the editor sometimes. I think my editor shortcut binding also has the passing of the file path as an argument. So maybe it's faster than running Nixfumt without arguments.
Yeah, I think it's moderately faster. Most of the time is spent evaluating Nix code to figure out what the command to run is. So that doesn't, formatting one file versus formatting the entire repository is kind of a minuscule difference compared to that.
And is that still the case in what?
Yeah, so I don't have any magic sauce to make the Nix evaluation go faster, but none-ls does just cache the result. So after it computes it once, it doesn't have to compute it again.
And what's the key?
There's no cache invalidation. The key is like there's no cache invalidation. So that's a lame thing. If you restart the none-ls language server, it clears the cache. So it's requiring a human to bust the cache.
And what I would like to invalidate the cache?
I mean, what you would need is it's tricky, right? It's not just the flake.nix file. You and I have gotten very good at changing things without actually touching the flake.nix file, like because we use flake parts. So it'd be like another thing that would just be a heuristic would be like the timestamp of all the Nix files in the but none of these are good options. And if you want to do it right, I think you have to do what the dev-env project is doing, where they're switching to using Twix, I think, but right now they use CPP Nix, and they've basically have, I think, implemented a hack that uses its verbosity, which says something about every file that Nix looks at when evaluating code. And so they scrape those logs, and then they're able to build up a list of these are all the files that are relevant to this Nix evaluation. And so then they can, use that, I don't know, take the MD5 sum of all those files, or maybe they do it based on timestamp of the files. So I think they're able to build a truly accurate cache invalidation mechanism. And I imagine Twix is going to allow them to implement that same thing in a less hacky way. You and I use direnv a lot, which also has its own sort of, caching mechanism for, we use the use flake built in for direnv, and by default, all that watches is the flake.nix and the flake.lock, I think. which is an incorrect heuristic. So, it'd be neat if someday whatever the work that devenv is doing could somehow benefit tools like durenv and
But
this
it's
thing
not a
that I'm.
tool. It should be Nix. Nix, Nix,
Or
Nix.
yeah, good point. Maybe Nick should just. Yeah. Yep. That's totally fair. That's the real fix. But good luck trying to add features on top of flakes right now when people can't even agree if flakes are the future.
All right. So I'm looking forward to contribution going through. Here's my screen. Here's that's for me. And
Alrighty.
oh, this needs to happen from an environment where the room is defined. And
the PR, I did merge the change. It took a little while to run, but it did finish.
So here's the timer, and I'll pull this. I think I already did that. And then our report to Nix cargo integration.
Yeah. Do you understand the fix?
I didn't look at the fix. I have enough things to do. But it was should work fine now. That's all I need to know.
Yeah. Well, it's moderately interesting because you tried to test it last night,
Fire.
and the change doesn't make any sense to me.
Oh.
Yeah, right?
We tested this.
That's what I thought.
We tested Atters. Atters merges. But maybe it does not deep merge it.
Oh. That's an interesting theory. That's a very good theory.
Maybe it shallow merges.
Yeah. Anyways, I thought that was interesting.
So we have a branch to rebase on top of one thing and then another thing. I mean bump. So let's start by switching to NCI. And then mob start and mob done and git stash and git rebase main and git push and mob start and git stash pop, which will probably result in some conflicts.
For the record, every time you pull up a sequence of commands like that, I stop paying attention and start thinking about if we're ever going to build our own mob tool. So.
Well, there's one. There's an alternative. There's probably a couple of alternatives. We just need to check them out before we go building our own.
Wow, this is the first time you've ever said this.
Here you go.
Were you waiting to tell me, or are these new?
I'm comfortable with it by now, so I'm sorry. I didn't think of anyone but myself. Sure, you want to try it next?
Sure, it
like
doesn't
when
have to
we
be right now.
when we don't have any more mob branches open, we could try it.
Sure.
So we have four files. Flake lock. That's I think that's pretty easy. We just do a reset flake lock, and then let's see what the status is. It says modified. Now I want to get restore flake lock, and then it will just do whatever it'll do. I think that's fine, right?
Okay.
Let's start with flake.nix, both modified.
Great.
Updated upstream stash base. Here there's a...
So crane should disappear, right? We're not directly using crane anymore.
I'm looking at it. I'm trying to see the yes, but I'm trying to see the difference between this and that, and it's dev shell.
Dev shell, which we're also
So
not
that's easy.
directly using. Oh, we are directly using. Okay.
We are.
All right. So it feels like we can just take the last block there, right?
But yes, because this in both upstream and this branch we have an addition of dev shell.
Right.
Okay. There you go. So here's another one we have here. Update upstream. Clippy, create utils in DB context. Clippy, no change. Create utils. So DB context is added upstream.
I think we still want that.
Stash changes is like it's complete removal of these two, Clippy and create util. So
okay,
I
and
think
that makes sense because Clippy got handled by NCI. NCI handles that now.
So this line will replace everything. This is a surviving line. Make sense?
Oh, I was misreading this. Okay, yes, I agree. Great.
Cool. What more? Okay, but if I do that again, it gives up at some point. Let's git add flake.next because we did that. Flake block is modified. Let's add that. And then we have create utils is deleted. So let's do git rem modules create utils. But there might be something there that is
I feel like we
useful
touched
because
it.
we edited it. Create utils. But it doesn't tell us what was added.
If you do a get log on create utils, we can just look at the most recent changes. I don't think it'll be a lot. Maybe even a log-p to show the patch. Or, okay, stupid ordering thing. So we added.
We don't need this.
Stood
right?
NCC, and NCI is going to do that for us, right?
I'm pretty sure it will.
Okay, that's probably it, right? November 11 is a long time ago.
Okay. Status git rem modules. Create utils. Oops. Status is now, we have two files with conflicts. Mob, you will find them with text. I have next.
Okay.
I have what seem to be old Russian songs, like Soviet Union songs, stuck in my head from this Stallcraft X game I've been playing.
What are we on, the NCI branch?
Yes, you can just do mob start.
The top. Were we in the middle of a file? I can't remember.
No.
From the top.
This is not a conflict.
That's unrelated. All right. Let's get rid of. Okay.
Just accept both and see what you don't need.
All right. We'll see where that goes. Double inputs. All right. And then per system.
Updated upstream is the removal. So this is difficult.
Because we moved this into a utils.nix. I remember doing
What
that
file
last
are
night.
we in?
This is devshell.nix.
Devshell.nix.
Because we started breaking things apart in main.
Yeah.
So I think it's okay for this to disappear. We just want to make sure that util.nix makes sense in the NCI universe. And this might not be the right way to do it in the NCI universe.
It's still, I think it's still the right way.
Excellent. Every time I say NCI, I think of the Marvel Cinematic Universe for some reason. I don't know why. So I think we can just accept what upstream did, getting rid of all this. Sound good?
Yeah, sure.
And it's gone. Okay. Then
Also
here
from upstream,
we have packages from is the last thing.
That's not necessary anymore. NCI provides.
Okay. So we don't need that.
Don't need
This is over on the right half of my screen. You can see that.
That's a stash base.
We're going to get a dev shell from NCI.
Wait, that's still a stash base. Right.
Sorry. Yep. Okay. So this we definitely don't need.
But in both they've been removed. No, sorry. I'm confused. But there's these lines, kind of those strange lines.
These like here.
Yes, strike through. What do they even mean?
Unexpected text. I think this is coming from NixD, NixF,
Okay.
or whatever. So I think it's saying, hey, this text is
Do
not
I get
expected.
strike through? Anywhere? I don't remember getting strike through anywhere. Anyway.
Yeah. Let me. That's easier, right?
It's a little easier.
And that proves it came from NixD.
Correct.
So, yeah, this dev shell is going to need some environment variables. I can't imagine NCI is going to automatically figure that out for us. But we've also probably handled that already.
It does, because we've asked for it too, I think. I think that was one of our requests.
So, like, this sort of a line of code.
But I'm not sure.
Yeah.
Well, leave it commented out.
Yeah, sounds good. So I'm going to get rid of all of this. And we're going to keep.
What is that? Packages from, and that. Those two utils and that explicit make shell and invocation.
Yeah, I think we're still going to
all
have
of
a per
these
system.
Things are now in their own respective modules.
Yeah.
The shell hook, even the shell hook.
Yep.
So you're right about everything that you have selected.
And it's gone. Yeah. This is gone, or belongs somewhere else, is somewhere else now. The packages.
All.
Seems like we don't need, I would guess.
Rust Analyzer, I don't think is provided.
Okay.
But might be wrong. I don't know. Try removing it. It'll It'll be clear if it's not existent.
Right. And then these environment variables we think we won't need, but we're not sure, so we're going to comment it out.
Yeah.
I'll just leave a comment. Probably don't need these packages. Comment all this out. Sound good?
Mm-hmm.
Right. Okay. Updated upstream. I think this is our last one. All right. LSP stop. Next. So.
Stash base is nothing.
Yep.
Updated upstream.
This was us splitting out the environment variables.
Correct. That seems
But,
like we should be keeping it.
well, weren't you just saying maybe NCI is going to do that for us?
This is the source of truth.
Oh, okay. Got it. Easy. All right. And then fetcher gets included for free. But this check we have to write ourselves. Is that? Oh, no. Wait, sorry. It does not get included for free. I remember. NCI
It
doesn't.
does not. Yeah.
We've configured it not to create any outputs for us. Okay.
Right.
So that looks right.
And we would need to bump and NCI.
Yes. There's our. Okay. I'll do a mob next. Go for it.
We had an assertion.
Yep.
So we commented out so we may as well remove the assertion.
Yep.
Remove the assertion. Let's reload. Now we should be missing some environment variables, right?
Perhaps.
Cargo test. Excuse me? Well, we should be missing them in the build, not in cargo.
Didn't we create a fresh lock file?
No, not a fresh one. So here's the diff against NCI. We have commented out publish false. I'm going to undo that because I don't think that's related to anything.
Sounds good.
That's gone. Diff again. Crane is flake false now for some reason.
Not
That's kind of not of
our
our business.
purview. Not in our purview.
What does purview mean?
Like under our domain, under our control.
Scope of the influence of or concerns of something.
That's NCI or
Yes.
somebody else's purview.
Okay. It's not a direct dependency anymore. We have an additional flake compat, but that's, I think, acceptable.
Mm-hmm.
We have the snake naked shell, which I don't know what it is. Ustakra is the author of that, seems. NCI. and PureScript overlay, whatever that is for. Project Nix, again, whatever that is for. Oh, that's from Dream to Nix. Yes, some small changes here to the dependencies. Rust Analyzer is no longer. That's probably a Crane version change. Rust overlay. That's it. So you see, it's not a big change to the flag. Oh, there's another input here, slim log, whatever it is. That's it. Crane is removed. Dev shell seemed to have changed its position. I'm going to undo that. We want dev shell. I'm not sure there's a way to fix that.
To fix what?
The dev shell inputs is above dev shell URL. There. Now we will have a little bit less change here. Make that mix. There you go. Slightly better. Crane is replaced with NCI.
Oh, we still have your debugging thing. So you could try that with a deeper adder set if we wanted to know. You can also just get rid of it.
No, let's do it. B. So let's do A adder set.
You do a.b equals.
B.
Sure.
1. A. B equals 2.
Writing it like a JavaScript programmer.
Why is that?
We have nice things. We can just do a.b.
Right.
This is not important. I'm just giving you shit. Sorry.
B equals 1, and I don't want to. That's also incorrect. We want to do A D equals.
Oh yeah, that's a more interesting test for sure. Yeah, actually.
This is merging.
Yep. So we think this might not merge.
Right.
That would explain.
With the second or the first.
Yeah, who knows what the order is.
Eval debug.
Haha! Repro. Okay,
Yeah.
so that was a good lesson. When testing merging of things,
yeah,
don't go one layer deep. Cool.
Removing all this.
And then for some reason doing adders of anything changes the merging behavior. Which I would not have guessed.
Yeah. Yeah. I suppose atters are merged shallow.
Do you think it's possible that the change he made is only adding one layer of depth?
What?
Like one layer of one layer of merging depth?
What?
Like, is it possible
obviously,
that adders of anything merges the values, but then doesn't like?
You want to change this to adders?
I'm a little curious, if you don't mind. Yeah.
Lib types anything. And then what do you expect?
Well, let's see. We expect this to merge. And it does. And then I'm curious if you go like add a third layer of depth.
Third layer. Okay. So A, B, C.
Yeah.
And B.
Perfect.
D.
Yeah, that's great. Okay. Nope. It's deep. Okay.
Yeah.
You're good. I'm just gonna.
Nuke it from
My
orbit.
takeaway from this is I don't understand the merging rules. I know that there are rules.
Seems like adders is shallow.
No.
It's like it's like atters where they're scalar.
Yeah.
Adders of some scalar.
I would have expected that to just mean untyped adders and not say anything about the merging rules, but
Maybe the type atters shouldn't exist.
yeah.
Like, why would you use this type? Some ambiguous
I
type.
feel like if you wanted to say like scalar values, like adders that don't merge, there should be a separate thing that says it's a non-merging adder set or something. Honestly, I'd rather get an error when you have conflicting values rather than have somebody win. Okay. Env reload. Let's confirm that I can build a dev shell. Looks good. And if I do a cargo clippy, love it. So env grep schema, it's there. That doesn't look right because it's not called path. Okay, love it. And we were trying to get a Nix Flake check to pass.
At this point, I would review the changes because I'm not sure what we have here by now. Spent hours on this
Yep.
making changes. We went through the flake lock,
Mm-hmm.
so we reached the flake.nix. After the inputs changes, which is replacing Crane with and Phoenix with NCI, we have removal of Clippy and create utils, introduction of NCI.
Yep.
That looks fine. Modules API default, we seem to have some CRUD.
This stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. We
Let's
can get
take
rid
a
of
look
that.
at that. That we have determined that it's not necessary because they do get picked up somehow
Yep.
by
Right.
the shell provided to us.
I'm gonna get rid of this.
Yes.
Okay.
So what do we have here? So show us the change again, please.
Can we just go through all the conflict markers first?
Sure.
So this
Dev
stuff we don't.
shell.
Okay, we're curious if we still have Rust Analyzer. Is that right?
Yes. It's an executable called Rust Analyzer.
Let's take a look.
I mean,
Building a dev shell.
I suggest stopping the background. Yeah. It's still evaluating the dev shell.
Yep. So much to do. All right. Rust does not seem to be provided.
All right, so we need that. But
Okay,
we need it in probably in NCI, not here.
sounds
The fact
reasonable.
we're using Rust is
And this
relevant
we
over
don't
there.
need, right? Or do we need this? We have to be
We
explicit
do,
about this.
yes.
Okay, great. So Rust Analyzer is that a language server?
Yes.
Okay, great. So that's going to go in nci.nix. We'll add something. Dev shell's default. .dev shell. .packages equals, and not even sure if we need Cplex.
We don't.
Gone. That's gone. All right. Rust. Yep, that's present.
Nice.
Okay.
Next.
All right. Now we got in fetcher these environment variables and a meta mini program.
Well, Git is in here. And
That's for
GitHub
the dev
GraphQL schema
shell.
is there. Line 27, 28.
Yeah, those are just for the dev shell, right?
Well, they shouldn't. They shouldn't be. They should reach the dev shell automatically, right?
Okay.
They don't need to be. I think they might not need to be explicit because we have these packages.
So
Let's try.
I agree it would be nice for them to reach the dev shell automatically. What I'm confused about is where they are actually being specified for the, for the buildable fetcher derivation.
Well, in DB context.
DB context, definitely not. It's only doing something for dev shell right
That's
now.
for the dev shell.
So I don't think we have it wired up quite as awesome as you're describing, but it would be cool if we could make that work. I'll do them up next.
I think that would belong in the project.
Right, that was the thing we were trying to do, which might have commented out
Doesn't
or something. The whole merging of the
so
project environment variables.
fetcher has needs Git and the GraphQL schema, and where that needs to be specified is in NCI projects defaults.
Okay. We're going to specify an env or
config
something.
and but um, uh, these two.
Yep.
And in
And a
DB
corresponding DB
context,
context will specify those two, but
not
not their
dev shells.
project.
CI it is these two, but we're hoping that we don't need them here.
Okay.
Right?
Sounds good.
And definitely this doesn't belong here. Wait, meta main program is a thing.
Yep.
But not these. And I project. Yeah, see how fast this happens. And then I have to press 2 more keys for it after it's done, just to reload.
Not the nicest. It'll get better soon.
So all of this.
Yep.
Oops. That way. I think formatting will break the line here, or no. And not this in any case. Well, we hope.
We're hoping it gets pulled into the dev shell.
Okay.
I don't remember this feature request that you're talking about, but we'll see.
Okay, let's try reloading the shell, and then I see Git, and I see these executables, and I see GitHub GraphQL schema, but
are they coming from somewhere else?
Maybe. But if we build the fetcher, right?
Yeah, let's see if it builds.
Then we want these to apply, and this.
Yep, so those two settings should merge now.
No, they shouldn't, because we didn't bump.
Oh, okay.
Well, let's see it fail then.
Yeah, so if they're not merging, then I just, there must be some other way they're ending up in the dev shell.
Good job. Go. That's
Looks
a while.
promising. Which is weird, because we were expecting this to fail, right?
Maybe we don't have anything to clobber that it clobbers with. It succeeded. Well, let's try building the API.
Okay.
Something should fail. with it's git diff. Yeah, problem. Oh, that's the problem. Wrong directory. It's, that looks okay. API. Build workspace package removed. An API doesn't have any specific dependencies, so it's just a matter of main program, exposing package, and there's no further change. These are removed from here because they should be somewhere else.
Yes.
Also, this is a build workspace package thing. That looks good. That looks all right. Clippy is entirely removed. Create utils is entirely removed. That also succeeded.
Yep.
Next. And we were looking at DB context. Next. Wait, that's not what I wanted. Yeah.
Okay. So we still have conflict markers that I'd like to get through. This dev shell that we're specifying here in Fetcher, we don't want that to exist, right?
Certainly not here.
Okay.
Wait. No,
I mean,
if it does exist, it is here.
Yeah, this is the one that's responsible for these environment variables. I think we're hoping that these will percolate into the shell. I'm not sure that's going to happen, but we'll find out. And if they don't, maybe we'll dry this up in some clever way, since it's all in the file anyways. So we can just leave these here until we know the answer.
Yes.
This is an overriding thing I don't think we know the answer to yet.
How are you circling through the changes in Vim?
Yes.
Is it the
So
same order that I was?
I don't know. I'd be alphabetical. Yeah, it looks like it's alphabetical. I don't know if that's the order you were going.
That's not the git diff order apparently.
Okay. Well, I just want to. This is only a subset of the changes. I don't think there's a lot left. So this Rust flags. Okay. This was the thing that was preventing merging in the repro that we put together last night. So by having this commented out, it's not preventing the merging. So
Uncomment.
We definitely want this back. It might trigger issues, which will force us to upgrade to the latest version of NCI. We do extract. Here we are in program docs. Again, I think we're hoping that we don't have to do any of this stuff now, right? All these environment variables are instead specified for the project in the appropriate places, right?
Yes.
Okay.
What? And those as well.
And what? Sorry?
Line 29 as
hey.
well.
Good eye. So we just want packages.programdocs to be that thing. Does that sound right?
Ideally. But I think lines 9 to 27 can be removed.
Gone. Okay. GitHub GraphQL schema is no longer referenced. Live in packages sort of depends on if we figure out how to make this thing work. Okay. All right, so there's a lot of stuff that's just kind of pending on does it work or
But
not.
it is in DB context. Oh, this is not DB context, this is program though. Your separator between tabs looks like a breadcrumb separator.
Yeah, the greater than thingy. I have not configured that. It just is what it is. Okay, so this PostgreSQL initDB is specified in one place. It's in the appropriate place, DB context, where we set drv config, Postgres initDB. Yeah, so you're right. I mean, this
Ends up
must
in the
be
shell.
percolating into the shell somehow, which is what we want.
Cool. Delete all the other things.
So I feel good about that. So basically everywhere where we're setting devshells.default.env, I feel like we can get rid of that. Okay.
Eventually, this change should be a lot of deletion and just a few lines.
Yeah. We're getting there. Yeah. So I think our dev shell looks good. I see the environment variables we want. That's very lovely of NCI to do that for us. It probably means that some of the module arg stuff we're doing is no longer necessary, right? Like this one right here. We can just get rid of that as a module arg, can't we?
If it's needed only in one place.
Because that's what we've been doing, right? We've been reworking everything so that it's just in the place where it belongs. So I'm going to delete this line.
Well, you have to put it where it belongs.
Yep.
That's the source of truth.
Yep. Messy, but there we go. That is such a weird way. We like had it defined here, and then we were referencing it here. This is a lot more straightforward. Sparks joy for me. All right. And then are we doing any other module arg stuff, or was that the only one that had that treatment?
Text search. But I think the changes.
Well, that was something that was pre-existing. But yeah, it doesn't look like we're doing module args for anything else there, so I think we're good. Okay. So conflict markers are these overrides, which we haven't figured out how to do yet. Do we want to figure that out?
Anything other than them?
Override. So there's 3 of those. 4 of those, sorry. Okay, and then we don't know if program docs builds yet. So this is kind of the, probably we should use Shahar's computer to answer that question.
Sure.
If I do a mob next, do you mind trying to build program docs? Or actually, you know what, I'll rotate. It looks like I'm past time anyways. Take control.
Control is an illusion.
Also a good video.
Mastery, however, Might be a thing. So spiritual. I'm going to next check this.
All right. Give it the goods.
And with this. Oh, what's this? Attempt to call something which is not a function but a set.
Okay.
Program docs. Line 16. What are we calling? There's a space here.
Does that just get deleted? We probably were logging something, and I think I deleted part of the logging, but not all of it. Like that was probably a trace or trace val or something.
Makes sense. Meanwhile, oh, there.
Excellent.
Next. Sorry. Like, I found a way to I found out of a way to enforce the turn those warnings into errors, so that you have full formatting in your project.
Yes, I saw the responses on the issue. There's like a debug level or something.
Term.
Term?
The severity is terminal. Spelled term.
Okay. Awesome. Yeah, and I was wrong last night. I said there was a caching bug. Brian had fixed that weeks
Oh,
or months ago, and
really? Wow.
we reported it a while ago, and Mr. McGee has fixed it a while ago.
That's really nice to know.
Yeah.
Make sure we bump. Okay. Git diff. Like next, and after like next we have API. But we don't have what we don't have is enforcing of like linting, like undefined, unused. So I'm going to see that there is no such things. But then Jeremy gets upset. Well, if it's not enforced, then don't bother.
We do have an issue in the backlog about this.
For linting?
Yeah.
Cool.
So, if it bothers you, let's tackle that next.
I think that should be tackled for next packages.
The Nix packages project.
Yep.
That would be nice.
Make a lint, like make a. Isn't it though? But I think the problem is that like there's like some custom CLI that wraps around. Anyway, we'll get to it. So build workspace package is gone. That's meta main program. Bear tracker API. That's good. Packages API is the release output of Bear tracker API. That looks good. Clippy is gone. Create details is gone. DB context is very similar, but instead of adding stuff to the shell, it adds stuff, these two
Which is great,
executables,
because that prevents
to
us
the
from
project.
repeating it all the time.
Yeah. And it's like wrong in terms of NCI,
we
but
shouldn't have
right
to
in terms
percolate
of
it.
our
Yeah.
module.
And it's arguably, like, depending on what philosophical hat you want to put on, it's the way that things are going to be for the non-Nixified development experience. Like, people running cargo, like using Nix to get a dev shell. But then they run cargo, and then they build all these crates with these environment variables set. So there's like, arguably, it's kind of nice that our Nix build does this, that they behave the same, so that we're not like doing all our development in a universe that's different than the Nix builds.
What alternative would it be different in?
I mean, if there were some hypothetical cargo feature that allowed you to like set environment variables for specific.
Crane. I mean, crane feature.
No, I'm talking about how like when you and I are working on this project, like writing actual Rust code,
Mm-hmm.
we run cargo run or cargo test or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
And then it goes and it, potentially builds a bunch of crates
Mm-hmm.
using whatever environment variables come from the dev shell. And
Yes.
it builds all those crates, with those environment variables.
Mm-hmm.
And so there's just this like leakiness of those environment variables in our development experience. So
Correct. Right.
I'm trying to polish this turd or put a positive spin on it here and say like, hey, this actually creates some symmetry between our
But the
development
symmetry
environment.
is created with the wrong side. It's
Yeah,
selected.
yeah. Ideally, we'd get the environment variables isolated to the crates, and then there'd be some, what I assume doesn't exist yet, some cargo feature to say like, hey, I'm setting these environment variables, but only like expose them to the crates that they apply to or something.
Right. Yep.
Hey, there's our good old friend, unexpected character apostrophe.
And you know what's funny? We didn't bump NCI.
Yeah, so I'm confused about that. Are we sure? Like if you do a Nix like metadata, what's the date stamp on that?
Maybe no, we did bump NCI because NCI is from this branch, and I did git restore on the log file.
Okay, so I asked that earlier, and I thought you said no, but okay.
We didn't
Makes sense.
explicitly bump, but it did get bumped again.
Yeah, that's okay. That's what I thought. So we're good. That explains why everything's working, except for this.
Right.
Do we know what this is about?
Up next, no.
Okay. There's
But I suggest we continue reviewing the diff. I don't
okay.
want to do that too many times.
Yeah. All right. So before we do that, then I think we know enough now to clean up this stuff here, right?
Mm-hmm.
I'm deleting
This
that.
is program docs.
Yep.
It defines the package in a check. That's nice. That's all we
So
ever
now
wanted.
the only remaining conflict markers are various tests that we're overriding the don't strip value, which we haven't figured
Okay.
out yet, but we don't have to talk about that just yet.
Right. We should prioritize that documentation unexpected parsing failure.
Yeah.
Try building program docs that stare at it.
I'll get that going. That's going to take a while for my poor laptop. Shall we look at the diff while that chugs along?
Okay.
So flake lock, we already looked at. Flake nix, NCI, and dev shell stays put. API default, main program,
Nice.
exposing the package. Very nice. No environment variables. These come from the project, which is great. Clippy is handled for us by NCI, which is lovely. All this stuff is just our shitty NCI, basically. So good riddance. What about this? Did that make it somewhere else?
Hmm.
Or did we lose that?
Pretty sure we lost it.
Yes, we.
Show us
Good job.
NCI.
So it's
We
in
have it.
NCI. So we're good. Nice work. Okay, and then this just comes from NCI. That's great. Environment variables, we don't stash them on the shell. We stash them on the project. They end up in the shell, which is lovely. The dev shell is really so dead simple at this point. It's just importing numtides module. Fetcher, don't need to thread this around anymore because the single source of truth for this is stashing this on the project, which again is lovely. Setting a main program for the fetcher makes sense, and then exposing the package in our flag. And then this is a problem that we have not solved, and we're going to defer for now. So there's the 4 of those that keep coming up. NCI. Yep. Flake module.
There's some work to do there.
What is this?
Yes, what is that?
From crane usage that is being replaced.
Well, cargo clippy extra args deny warnings we have, so that's fine. But all targets and all features, I don't know that that's how Clippy NCI runs Clippy.
Okay, so we have some testing to do.
Also, who says we have Clippy in the checks? Is that by default? Oh, we have Clippy profile. Show us Nick's Blake show. Maybe we'll see whether we have Clippy there at all.
Oops.
And then maybe take a look at that Clippy derivation, because then we'd be able to see what arguments it's called with.
Okay. So the checks here.
There's no.
I don't see a Clippy.
Maybe because the project has export false, then Clippy is also not showing. But export is not about checks, right?
Doesn't seem like it would be.
We do have, but we don't have any checks. You know, we don't have any checks by default. We added all these checks explicitly. API fetcher and also program docs shouldn't it be under packages program docs?
What?
It's a package. Is that an existing problem?
Let's see. Next flake show GitHub molybdenumsoftware. Grep program. Or we'll just.
Yeah. That was it.
Okay. And then the thing we identified from the diff was that this needs investigation. This needs some investigation. X. Program docs. Yeah. So we should
program docs.
Name it consistently. I agree. Like that?
Yes. Good.
Good catch.
Thank you.
So what is export? Oh, right. Export equals false is so that we don't create like 4 versions of every package, including every crate, including the ones that we don't want other people to even consider using.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, totally reasonable. And then profiles release run tests equals true. Can you explain what that means?
The profiles attribute, if it's empty, there is a default which is release with run tests true, and then debug. I don't remember what the default is exactly, but what this says, we don't really care about having multiple profiles. We the only profile we want is the release and to run tests in it.
Oh, okay. So this is an example of merging not occurring and that being desirable.
Merging.
Like there's a profiles.default and this is somehow making it disappear.
It merges with nothing. Maybe if
Oh,
it this overrides the default, so there's no merging.
the default is empty.
No, the default is release and debug, and one of them has run tests true. Or maybe two of them have.
So if it merges, this is...
But it won't merge, because defaults don't get merged.
Defaults don't get merged. Oh,
Yeah,
really? Okay,
I'm pretty sure.
got it.
Otherwise, there
Okay.
wouldn't be good defaults.
All right. Yeah, I don't have enough experience with that sort of stuff. But yeah, sounds plausible. All right. And then this cargo clippy. So we're going to introduce a warning somewhere and see if it shows up, see if it gets detected.
I think that's we tried already.
Tonight, or was that last night?
I kind of trust that. Rust flags is solid, right? Like if you have Rust flags, that's fine. And I think I tested it not tonight. Did you rotate just now?
I just did.
Oh,
Well,
doing
and
me.
we've got this commented out code in nci.nix that makes it sound like there's work to do or uncertainty about if we need to do work.
This,
Yeah.
right? But deny warnings is already here, so it's
Okay.
and I think it was tested. So it's not. And if I go here and I do clear and reload, and then I do echo Rust flags, and I see deny warnings, I'm good.
Mhm.
I think what's not obvious is that these two
Yeah.
are provided to Clippy by NCI by default.
Okay.
I suggest, and then we found, wait, we don't even have Clippy in the checks. So I think what we need to do is something like checks Clippy equals config NCI outputs something Clippy parts cargo integration Clippy profile.
And profile is
These are
a
outputs.
cargo term?
Cargo verb?
Term? It's a word from the
Term.
cargo universe?
Yes.
Okay.
If you want to, there are default profile provided. So if you want, the debug is the default one.
Got it.
because most of the time you enjoy that. But if you want to build it for your user, you might want to use the default provided profile, but not the default selected profile called release.
Gotcha.
And even these profiles can be customized, and also new ones can be defined, so on.
Oh, okay.
So this is a Clippy only package for a crate, but we want for all crates. If there is no, ideally we want for all crates. And this is there was a Clippy profile, but I don't see. Maybe I'm searching dot Clippy. Maybe that's too much. Clippy profile. Yeah, it seems like what we have to work with here is, so for each crate, we will run Clippy for that crate. That kind of sucks.
That's gonna be some duplicate work.
Yeah, because Clippy can be run for a workspace. I don't quite understand the. It typically should be run for a workspace. Maybe we're missing something here. Let's try a. I'm not sure what to try. We can. Can we this up? Can we?
I'll be right back. Sorry.
No. Also, not what I meant to do. Pretty sure it was a discussion. Blah blah blah. Just added a use Clippy option. Use Clippy option. The changing cargo command added to Jim. I will. Since Clippy is the only check thing I've ever seen. Use Clippy, but I didn't see it here. Use Clippy. I don't see it, Clippy. I'm confused now. Let's see if it's in the source. Use. Nope. There's no such thing in the. But there are commits that. Replace use Clippy in favor of Clippy profile. Creating a separate Clippy only package. But I don't want.
Hello.
Hey. So yeah. So that's the feature apparently. There's the Clippy profile determines. There's this make Clippy only package here.
Does that build for a whole workspace? Is that the idea?
No. See package fig name.
I see. Dash dash package is a CLI parameter for cargo clipping.
Or yeah, it's
I don't know the
yeah.
word package in the cargo universe.
It's crate. I don't know why.
Okay, they mean the same thing.
Mm-hmm.
Got it. Let me put this sweatshirt on. Okay. So we have to do a Nix loop and build a bunch of checks, or do we want to do this some other way?
I think so. There are two distinct issues here, concerns here. One concern is that we we could run Clippy for the whole workspace in one command, one derivation,
Mm-hmm.
and that's not provided by NCI at the moment. But that's fine. We could, we can run Clippy for the two. Yeah, you could have Clippy check for each of the. We have two end user packages, right?
Yep.
We also have the docs, but I don't think
Mm-hmm.
that's of any use. I think it'll only be just overlap.
Yep.
So that's fine. That's not optimal, but what's optimal?
Works for me.
And there's another. Let's do that, and then I can share about the other thing.
Okay. So I'm deleting this,
What are you
and we're going.
deleting? No, that's the other thing. The all targets, all features. That's the other thing.
Okay. So I don't know what a target is, I guess. Is that also a crate or a package, but one for the
A,
workspace?
tar- a target is because one crate can have multiple executables, for example. So I think those are targets. Also,
Mm.
tests are possibly targets. Integration tests are any test. I think any test is a target. The unit test, the integration test, the documentation test.
Got it. Okay. So we're gonna do this thing. It's gonna go in a per system. We're gonna move these somewhere else just to see what they're gonna look like. It's gonna look something like checks dot, and this is gonna be like Lippy / API equals big dot. And we're already in a per system context.
But hold on. I'm sorry. This is where I said something incorrect.
Okay.
Wait, did I say something? No. I think. Yeah. I think it's correct. But so
Is that what you were
right.
thinking?
Maybe see whether that's the thing.
Okay. Show up as checks, but I guess that's not very exciting. We should actually try building one. Is that gonna work? The auto completion? Okay, maybe.
It has the same name.
Yeah, maybe.
Shouldn't have the same name.
Not the same derivation, but they do have the same p name and p version or whatever. Does that bother you?
Yes.
Like, bother you because we might be misunderstanding things?
No.
Okay. What do you want to do about it?
Just regular OCD bother me.
Yeah. Do you want to send in a PR, submit an issue?
Sure. There's a bigger concern than that, which is Sleepy could be a single workspace thing.
Yep. That would also be nice. Both those passed. Like, not enough of a rustling to feel confident that they actually did
Then
what we
generate a
wanted.
Clippy warning.
Okay.
Somewhere.
That would make me feel more comfortable. And I want to do it in like DB context, somewhere a little hidden. So what would an example of a warning be?
If an enum, if all members of an enum has the same prefix or suffix.
Okay.
Let's make a new one.
Okay. Enum of enum problem 1, problem 2, something like that.
You will should be seeing it in your editor as well, right?
Okay.
I don't see anything.
Chugging along here.
Let's see.
First Rust file I've opened up since our session began. So see this down here? Really putting my CPU to work. That's the asynchronous discovery right there. Okay. Clippy. Okay. Says Clippy is done. But maybe my editor isn't running. Well, this didn't complain either.
Maybe it's not hitting this particular. Maybe it's only suffixes.
Oh.
Cool. Be back in one moment.
Mm-hmm. All right. What is a Clippy warning? Let's do the same thing in Fetcher.
I'm back.
Okay. So that did not trigger a Clippy warning. I think it's possible because it's it's because we're in a subcrate, a transitive dependency.
Well, I mean, do you get anything? Try naming them the same.
Okay, that did something.
I think maybe Clippy is not working for you in your editor at all.
Yeah, I don't think I've set up Clippy in my editor.
Let's do that.
It's a I lost that when I switched to Rustation Vim, I think. Yeah, so if it's not a default with Rustation Vim, I don't have it. I think.
Well, let's do it. Check out mine.
I am doing that.
Oh.
Station Vim.
What happened there?
Unable to discover Nick's Funt entry point. So something went wrong. I think it's because you've got some special settings that I haven't accepted, or I need to, like if I do a Nick's Funt, does it? Yeah. So
Hey,
it
hey.
failed to discover the entry
I
point.
need that to work.
Well, you've probably said yes to it at some point, haven't you?
Right.
So that'll work for you.
Okay.
But won't work for other people. Unless there's some sort of like, I don't know.
There's
Probably
no
should.
DX for that
I mean, I think there
through the
is. You could
editor.
probably, yeah, say accept whatever, but also maybe going a little too far.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, honestly, the thing that I've built is kind of risky. You know, it's like it's going to run arbitrary code on your behalf if you just happen to open up a file in some random repository. And like,
Mm-hmm.
you know, Duran's protection against that is to force you to say allow on that
Mm-hmm.
stuff. So I'm not really not sure what to do about that.
Have a UI for saying allow.
Yeah. Okay. So default settings Rust Analyzer. This is inlay hints. Do I want that as well?
I'm not sure. The max length part I think I like. Ideally I would control it on the fly. Like have a key binding for toggling limited and unlimited length.
I
That
don't
would be
understand
reasonable.
what this is. The length of
That's
what?
the length
The
of
number of
the
hints?
the each inlay hint.
Oh, okay. Huh,
Long types, you know?
I see. Okay. I have no thoughts. And what are Elysian hints? Elysian is a word I do not know.
He lied.
Okay. So lied is the verb and Elysian is the noun form of it.
I
What
suppose.
what are Elysian hints? Who's eliding them?
Okay. I actually don't know, but I saw this. I went through the options and I said, you know what? I don't want to miss out on any hints. And if anything ever seems strange, then I'll inquire. So I
This
turned this on.
is okay. This is eliding hints or this is the
But
opposite of eliding? This is showing hints that would be elided?
I'm guessing that it's what you just said.
Okay. All
Because
right.
it's useful to know those.
Sure. I agree. It's just so mysterious the way you're describing it.
It's mysterious to me as well. I can explain lifetime elision, but not sure about this option.
lifetime elision is a term in the Rust universe?
Yes.
Okay. This is like something that allows you to avoid specifying the lifetime
Right.
explicitly.
When it's otherwise obvious, then yeah, it's a inference basically. It's inference.
Yeah. Right. I'm deploying. Let's see how this goes.
LSP restart would just, you know.
I don't think LSP restart would do that for me. That might do it for you. I mean, I'm changing my bin configuration.
Oh, right. Changing the thing. Yeah.
I don't think that would even do it for you. You use Home Manager, but it's not like restarting LS. Like, even if your config files are updated in your home directory.
What is that Magen David there?
Again, David.
Mm-hmm. At
Hogan
the
David?
end of your, it's a red Star of David.
Oh. It's a cogwheel.
It's a cogwheel.
Yeah.
Oh.
It shows up when I have processes running in the background. Like there I've got one running in the background.
That's nice. Do I have that?
Now I have two running in the background.
I want that. How did you get that? Is that Star, what's it called? Spaceship? Starship?
No, this is just something I wrote.
You wrote it for Starship? Using Starship?
No, I'm using Fish, so this is my own handcrafted prompt. But I mean, it's like a for loop. It's not a lot of. It's like 3 lines of code or something. Okay, so that's deployed.
What's your
I got
editor
the
saying?
idea from the prompt I used before I switched to Fish, which had a version of this built in, but it only did one cogwheel. And I was like, oh, actually, I think it would be nice to know how many processes I have in the background. So I changed it. What are we doing? We've triggered a Clippy warning, right? Hopefully, that's what we're trying to do at least.
There. Now I see cargo Clippy.
Yeah.
In progress.
Now, is this going to be smart? Like, I had problems before where some Rust projects maybe didn't use Clippy or didn't.
Yeah, so
What
what
was
you
the
do with
issue I had?
those is that if you go into a Rust project that doesn't use Clippy, first PR you do is to resolve
Add
all the
Clippy.
Clippy links. and enforce Clippy in CI and stuff.
Is that something that how does that go over in the Nix community? Or sorry, the Rust community ecosystem? Are people always like, thank you for doing this? Or are they like,
oh yeah, no one will complain about Clippy.
Got it.
Especially if you're using it with the defaults, which are not that strict.
Got it.
Unless someone's going to decide to be more OG than the Pope.
More OG than the Pope. Don't know what that means.
Like a C cargo Rust, a C Rust developer that is like, well, I don't need Clippy.
Got it.
What are you talking about? Scratch beard.
Okay. So still no problems with
Clippy is
this.
for the weak. Really? What? Maybe the number there is. Maybe this is only for errors. Maybe I made this up to be more than it is, this rule.
Okay. What are errors?
Or maybe it's not in the default, because I've been using a more strict Clippy. So, yeah, what's an easy way to trigger? Well, you could find that lint, and you could go find all the list of all the lints.
Clippy's lints.
The first link.
Master stable? Stable, I guess. We're probably using stable. Alright. Absurd extreme comparisons. Give me a problem. Okay, now we're talking. Absurd extreme comparisons. This comparison involving the minimum or maximum element for this type contains a case. Is always true or always false because blah. The maximum value. Okay, I feel like I can write less
Clippy rule
absurd
developers.
things.
Who are you?
Isn't this... Is this also absurd?
It's absurd for a different reason. Here, there you go. You want to develop a new Clippy rule?
Wait, I just don't understand the... Okay.
What?
All right, I guess okay, so the one I wrote is a more complicated one. Like this one's just like, I don't care what the value is on the left-hand side if I see a greater than.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, I see. All right. Fun. And we got a Clippy. Wonderful. And if I take this and put it over in, I don't know, db context or lib, this isn't gonna be interesting, right? We're still gonna get our, oh my, what did I do? I put that not where code goes. And does it also happen in the Nix universe? Okay.
I
We're hoping
remember
this will fail.
why
Go ahead.
Nix cargo integration doesn't provide a single Clippy workspace check.
Oh, you've looked into this before?
Yes.
What did you learn?
I think it's a Dream2Nix limitation. Dream2Nix doesn't offer a package for the workspace. But recently we learned that the Dream2Nix Rust crane is by the same author as NCI, so there's... So like upstream doesn't have it is not an excuse in this case. You are upstream.
You're saying it's a limitation of Dream2Nix or a limitation of the Dream2Nix crane integration? Or is the Dream2Nix crane integration part of Dream2Nix?
Right. Well, which one of those I don't know.
Okay. All right, so there we go. And so we get a dupe because of this limitation. So API gives us the exact same warning in the dependency. Okay, that's fine. I feel good about this.
But why do you get to see two? Why doesn't it like fail on one and then exit?
Oh, I ran fetcher by hand, and then I ran API by hand, just because I wanted to prove to myself that this worked the way I thought it did. Now take this
lint trigger and put it in one of our tests.
Okay, I want to move these to the right place first. I'm going to
Sure.
move this to API default. We'll add a check for that. And then I'm going to take this one and move it to fetcher default.
I'm not sure about the name. Like packages fetcher Clippy.
Sure. It'd almost be nice if it could be like a pass-through test. I don't know enough about that pattern, but that's like what happens in Nix packages, right?
I've seen some, but I'm not sure I remember what exactly how it works.
Like the Nix OS creates this link from the packages
Pass
to the
through dot
corresponding.
tests, and then
Yeah,
it's a set of derivations.
right. I could see that being a nice pattern here.
We have two.
Yeah, I'm
And
not
we
saying it's
don't
worth
even
doing.
want two. We want one.
Yep. Also fair. All right. So that's good. Okay, to do test cargo test in the dev shell. We've done that. We know that works, right?
Right.
I'm going to delete that.
Yeah.
And then, are we happy in the Clippy universe? Shall I delete
No,
these?
because what I'm suggesting is Clippy doesn't necessarily run with all targets. So if you put it in a trigger, a lint trigger in an integration test, it might not trigger.
Okay. Let's see. Where do we have an integration test?
Look for a tests directory.
All right. Okay. Yep, there we go. In progress, cargo Clippy. Should I really believe this notification? Nope, and it's gone. Okay. So my editor doesn't seem to care.
Right. Did you see my config has all targets
I thought
argument?
I copied yours.
Try running cargo Clippy.
All targets equals true. Oh, did I really miss that? No, I've got all targets equals true right there. But I've got good news for you. It seems to just be a Jeremy editor issue because running the Clippy check on our API did trigger. Oh no, sorry.
What?
Get checkout dash p.
What?
Right. So we want to leave it here. We want to remove it from. It was still in DB context, which we've already verified works. So now, if I do a next build of API, oh, and now my editor seems to have figured out what's going on. Weird. I don't know what was going on there. Can we get this to fail? And you're pretty sure this isn't going to work. So shall we start looking into how we're going to fix? Oh, yep, and there it is. So that succeeded. So how do we reconfigure that Clippy profile to do all targets? You were looking at the code a moment ago where it did dash dash package. This thing.
Mm-hmm.
This takes cargo build flags. What are these?
Okay.
These are not defined in this repository. Oh boy.
No. They're probably from String to Nix Rust Crane.
Okay.
Look for that there.
Where?
String to Nix. Probably just cargo build flag.
Which one?
Rust Crane.
Okay.
Probably cargo build flag. Or just build flag.
Okay. So we'll add all targets.
Well,
How do we even get our hands on this? Is this abstracted away from us?
how does Clippy end up? We don't define it. It's defined. You see there, it's like extending a config, right?
Package extend modules, modules equals, and it's this module, which adds a build phase or clobbers the build phase. And what is
Yes.
that, a no op in bash?
Hmm.
And then this is just something that succeeds. So yeah, this must just be another overridable value. So if we're reading this right, the build command, no, sorry, build flags. Okay, which is empty. Okay. So if we overrode rustcrane.build flags, would we be in business? Oh, but we can't get to the non-public thing. Is that the issue? Like we can't walk up from this to a thing that we can call extend modules on?
Right.
Okay.
This
So
make
NCI,
Clippy only package is called for us, and we might be able to pass build flags to all to the whole project, or to that, yeah, the whole project.
let's make what? Sorry?
We may be able to pass build flags to the entire project,
Okay.
but
But then
it's not
there's still
reasonable.
this dash dash package here.
That's not a problem.
Okay.
That makes
Right.
sense to you?
No.
We have the build flags. These NCI has this feature of the same set of DRV config and depth DRV config for both project and crate.
Okay.
If we set per system NCI project default DRV config build flags, it'll apply and it'll reach here
I see.
probably.
Okay.
But
There is no
all
build
targets
flags.
doesn't make sense in like everywhere. Oh, you
Yeah.
won't find it. It's DRV config. DRV config tells you can.
Got it. Okay. And so does NCI give us a way to get our hands on this thing? Or even better,
Yeah, but Nix
this thing.
does not permit mutation.
Mutation?
Yes, you can grab it as a value, but you can't. Maybe no, we can. We
What?
can.
Because what I'd like to do is I'd like to
Let's
get our hands on this,
this.
and we could
I'm not sure what this is though.
this value, or even better, this value. But I can imagine why we don't have access to that because it just gets created and immediately descended into. But this feels like something that's floating around in the NCI module system or whatever.
It is, but that would be no different than doing what I said.
Well, if we can get a reference to it, we can change our line of code where we define these clippy checks. That would be in fetcher default. Like right here could instead become something like, get our hands on that package and add in the stuff we need right here. The alt targets and the, basically re-implementing this, or ideally, I guess we can't share this logic.
We don't have anything like, we don't get access to anything like that.
Okay. So this package that's floating around is not something we can reference via config.something something something.
It I think it is. I think it is, but obtaining it doesn't help. We need to obtain. We need to modify what gets passed to this. Is one option. Modify what gets passed to make Clippy only package, or grab make Clippy only package and not the public. Grab the result from make Clippy only package and override stuff there. But then even then it's like kind of too late because the build phase is just a string and it's not mergeable. So it's kind of a re-implementation.
No, but what I mean is like we can literally take this code right here.
Yeah, we can do that.
And if we can just get our hands on this package somehow, we can define our clippy checks.
With extend module, do you think get in a repo and see whether our packages have extend modules on them?
That's what I was wondering.
But I don't think they do.
Yeah.
I think this is an earlier thing, an earlier value.
Right. Because it's probably like the packages are something.config.public, right? And then we can't walk back. Oh, did I lose you?
I just muted. Sorry.
All good. Oh. Wow. Surprise, surprise.
That's nice.
Yeah.
But we don't get that on the Clippy check, do we?
Let's see.
Packages. Fetcher. No completion this way. Dot.
All right. We might be in business.
That's. I thought we checked this, but maybe
I thought we had tried something like this before, yeah.
Maybe we tried extend instead of extend module.
Oh, are the parentheses unnecessary in this context? Okay, and then what we will do is we'll try setting Rust crane build flags equals all targets.
And can we see the comment at outcode?
The commented out code.
Mm-hmm.
Where?
There's a to-do. It's Clippy. Has to
Where?
do with Clippy.
Sorry, I don't remember where this is.
Probably NCI.
CI.x.
All features.
Oh, okay. Got it. All right. Sure. Okay. Next build. Yeah, click. Well, it's rebuilding, so something changed.
What more functions does this have? Extend mode, does it have extend? Have anything else? You may need to do the trick.
Uh-oh. Aw. Really? I really thought we had it there.
Because it's probably the wrong options. See what more options Rust screen has.
So here. Oh, whoops. Okay, I got do.config.public. Right, for consistency, probably.
Right.
That's why it's not a package. I don't know why I was able to build it just now. Maybe there was a race saving and I built something different.
But why
Let's try
does
that.
this in the REPL? Why does it matter?
My REPL is chugging away.
It's a cheggle.
Hey, list of string. Okay, I think we've got the right thing. Pretty cool, pretty cool. Why is this not crashing? Because I'm dealing with the fetcher. Jeez. Okay, there's our issue. Sorry. Stupid mistakes. Hey, oh, cannot be used multiple times. So we've already got all targets somehow at the end. Did we do that?
We did not do that.
Somebody's modifying this in another way then.
The cargo. What do you mean in the end? It cannot end of what?
Command cargo check all targets, which is
What?
cargo
Sorry.
check
Show me again.
right here.
I see. Huh. Right.
This is coming from somewhere else entirely. Cargo check.
Cargo check. What do you mean cargo check? It's not cargo check. It's cargo clippy.
Well, this is something's adding a cargo check. Guess that's from Rust Crane.
So, what? How?
The cargo subcommand. Okay, so there's this the cargo. This is Rust Crane check command, which is probably the relevant code, right?
Well, it's
So I think we're looking at this thing. But it's just a variable. Common args.
What project is this in?
This is streamed to
Nginx?
Nix right here. But I do not understand what this cargo check command does.
It's not relevant because we're supposed to be make Clippy only package supposed to be maybe there's build, maybe the check phase still no check phase and build phase. I don't understand why cargo check would be even used in that way. Why would be cargo check as we
Well,
see?
does it make sense? Because this code we're looking at here is only extending the top level derivation, and where this
There is
failed
only
for us
there is
is
only
in the depths one.
Okay.
But maybe the depths one is still just getting a cargo check.
We need to provide flags that don't get into the depths.
Yeah. Although what I just said doesn't make any sense, right? Because
Well, what's
why
happening?
would it percolate? Why would this percolate down into the depths? But then the stuff they're doing doesn't, right? This stuff make derivations. Isn't that
It
weird?
does though. Why doesn't it? It does.
So we've got this. Let me look at the logs from the build dev. So here we are running the build phase for the depths derivation. So the build phase for the depths derivation runs cargo version followed by cargo check. But we see here that they're overriding the build phase to run cargo clipping. That's why I'm saying this doesn't seem to percolate down into the depths for
Show
some
me again.
reason. Sorry. So here's the build phase.
I don't. Cargo check. Maybe NCI overrides that.
Yeah.
We don't. It's just speculating, right? But there's all targets. All targets appears twice for some reason, right?
Yeah.
What more options do we have?
Well, I mean, if we can't control
Literally, not options, but options, like literal options. Of course,
where do you want to look?
Not in NCI, in Rust brain. Bring to Nick. There's only one check command.
Yep. The word check. So, okay, depths DRV check flags. Okay. So that's more targeted.
But we're using the build phase to run cargo clipping. And we know that it's using the environment variable cargo build flags, and we know that build flags inserts into there, ends
Okay.
up in the cargo build flag.
You're right. Build flags. So let's specify it on the top level DOV.
There you go. Yeah, right? It's
Yep.
not make derivation.
Yep.
Which one did
Okay.
we use? We
Here we
used the
go.
top level one, and now no, not this one. Why can you go back again to the list?
Mhm.
Not this one, another one.
So this is the one we were using, Rust Crate,
Right.
which seems to apply to both the top level and the depths.
Mm-hmm.
Then here's the one for the depths
This one.
DRV.
Oh no. Wait. And is there a DRV conf?
Yeah. Well,
DRV
there's make derivation.build flags, which maybe isn't okay. I thought that was the
depths DRV.
depths DRV make derivation. So it must be make derivation must be the top level one, and it just doesn't.
I
It's not
suppose, but
scoped
that's
in the same way.
a bit strange. Like how NCI exposes them. Like it doesn't make this expose. It doesn't expose all of this, but
What do you mean
okay,
it doesn't
whatever. And
expose
how
all of it?
NCI do it. Yeah,
This is the exact same stuff, right? And
and
we're first class citizen in this universe here. We can.
we're yeah, but just do it. Just try it. I'm kind of contemplating NCI API, but
Okay. So here we go.
yeah, this might not reach the depths theory, right?
That's our hope. And I mean, it seems like it won't, right? Because like this stuff didn't reach the depths DRV, and we're operating at the same level, right? We're doing derivation dot.
Right, Roger.
So this smells like it's gonna work to my nose. Damn it! Really? I mean, now built, but didn't actually.
What did you build? No. Sorry. Hold on. Hold on, just a moment, Jeremy.
Mhm.
When you build API or fetcher, the trigger that we placed is in the depths of it.
What is the trigger that we placed? SD notify.
Oh, not in the depths. It's an API.
But if you look at the command that we ran, this is not the command we were expecting it to run. Cargo clippy. We tried to add in. We're in the build phase here.
But this is the fetcher.
Did I fuck that up again? I'm sorry.
you
God damn
did,
it.
but hold on. This is still the fetcher. I mean, you placed
Okay.
the trigger in the API.
Yeah. Right. Okay, great. Different kind of fuck. Okay, come back to that in a second. Let me go to API default. Queue, fetcher, API. Here we go. And one more time.
One more time.
All right. Give us a clippy warning. Or error.
No.
Really? Nix log result. There. Whoops. Oh my gosh. Sorry. Build phase, cargo clippy. That did not have the effect I was expecting. All targets.
I think I know. Make derivation build flags is simply not cargo build flags.
Cargo build flags.
There is no cargo build flags. There are Rust crane build flags.
Mm-hmm.
And we did try. This is cargo. It'll be
This
passed to
does what we
cargo.
want. Yes.
But it'll be passed to the.
It'll also be passed to the depths. This is. What are these used for?
It's not used, I suppose, because the build command is replaced, right?
Oh, these are like. Okay, these are auto-generated docs, and they're showing stuff from like the std-env builder in a modular form, in the module form, which don't apply in the Crane universe.
Yeah, I mean, we would rather not see this here, right?
Yeah.
Not
Okay.
build flags, because the build phase is replaced.
Like there is a build flags documented here or something for the std-env builder. Yeah. Okay. So these are like flags for make in the default builder. It makes sense that make is just not a part of this. Okay. Got it. That's unfortunate, but I understand what you're saying. Okay. Cool. So we can do this ourselves. I don't know. It may even be possible to reference this one and extend it. I don't know enough about the Nix module system to know if that's possible.
Yeah, you can do make before, make after.
Okay, so we could do a make after dash dash all targets dash dash whatever.
Yeah. Try it.
Okay. We're not doing that. Instead, we're doing this thing.
Then our issue report would be our convoluted workaround.
Yeah. Bx. So something like that. And lib. I don't know. Is it lib.make after?
I think so.
Okay. There's the one. There's the other. Does not support make after. Since I want to see this work, just to confirm that we're on the right path. This is what we're trying to do, right? I just want to see the damn clippy error.
Something is wrong with highlighting.
Why? Is that better?
Yes.
I'm not saying I want to merge it as is. I just want to see the damn clippy error come out of Nix at this point. To like prove to myself that we are on the right path or on a path.
A path of righteousness. Knights
So
of the Round Table.
after. I've never used that. What does it do?
It. I think the problem is. I don't know what the problem is. No, I think I may be hallucinating that make after works with strings at all. Maybe it's only with lists. I think with strings you have to. There's no merging. There you have to obtain the string and then concatenate yourself with some recursion.
But this stuff isn't documented in Nix packages because. Okay. I mean, that looks like it.
Okay, that I did not hallucinate. But this may be a bit of a different type.
Yeah. I mean, I could see
Because
how you'd want to opt into that for.
I'm
It doesn't make
what I'm
sense with all strings.
more specifically, you know that there's this
We got the clip here. Ship it. We're
I'm
done.
not surprised. You remember there's a type that shows up in the documentation as new line separated strings.
Yeah, that sounds right.
I
Maybe that
think
one.
because when you don't know that what separates the strings, then
Yeah,
what takes care of like it's
yeah,
risky to offer concatenation because then you could end up
yeah,
without a separator when you typically want to concatenate them for
yeah.
concatenating sequential bash scripts.
Totally.
That's not,
Yeah,
but here
like
it's not that.
this, for example, if it had
Mhm.
done what we expected, it
would
would have
actually
had a
fail.
bug because there was no
Right,
space before the dash, right?
right. Which is
That would have been
not
ugly.
strictly not wrong. It's like our problem, but maybe people hit it too many times and said, you know what? I don't want to ever.
No, I mean, thinking about it now, I'm glad that people don't have the power to do this because,
Mhm.
you know,
Well,
I
there
will
could
have
be a
to.
type called space separated
Yeah.
string, but
Yep.
if it's just a string, maybe it's correct that we don't
Yeah. I
allow
agree.
make it.
I agree. This is not. It makes sense that this is not allowed or not possible. Okay, so here's our hack. You ready for our hack?
I'm ready for our hack.
McDerivation dot pre-build phase and extend this bash variable
Huh.
or pre-build.
Okay. I'm down.
I mean, it's a less terrible
Just
hack.
remember to add a space.
But this is probably just pre-build, right? If I'm guessing how DRV Dream to Nix works.
But you know here's another hack. I mean, this probably works, right? But
Hmm.
it's a less hacky hack because it does not involve bash, only Nix.
Okay.
You can obtain the build phase and then like you can pass a function and you can obtain the config and then set the
Ooh.
new build phase based on the
Okay.
previous one. Does that
Tell
work
me.
or would that cause infinite recursion?
I don't know. I don't know how to do this trick. Can you
Is that uh-huh? Well, look
show
at the
me?
implementation of make Clippy only derivation.
Hmm.
You see that it
It's
takes some
it's not referring to
package.
any previous stuff here, is it?
Oh, yeah. No, I think I'm wrong about this. I think I'm thinking about fixed point adder sets.
Okay. Yeah. Override adders lets you have the old adders. But I haven't seen this in the module system.
The module
And
system that would just cause infinite recursion, right?
it doesn't seem like it would make sense in the module system because there's no like ordering, right? Or like,
Mm-hmm.
hey, that didn't work. Hmm. Maybe pre-build's not the thing. Yeah. I made up pre-build. Is that not what it's actually called?
It's called pre-build.
Oh, but your build phase needs to opt into calling the pre-build phase, right?
Right.
By calling run pre or something, which this one's not doing. Ugh, I don't know. Post patch or something. I don't have the order of phases memorized. But there's some phase that we could do this in, right? Like post patch or something.
Yeah.
Should I
Post
try?
patch sounds like it.
Pure grossitude, but sure. Here we go.
And then we still have an unexpected character.
Yep. And we don't know how to override the debug info yet. But we maybe learned more about how to do things like this. This extend modules feels like it'll let us do what we want. So I guess this is a worthwhile distraction. We're leveling up our Dream to Nix powers. Build failed! Woo! Hackitude. Backtastic. Post patch. Doesn't show up. I'm a little surprised. Patch phase.
Because it's not it's not a phase. It's an environment variable that is run by the patch phase.
Yeah, and I guess I just thought with this plus, maybe set-x or something got added later on, so every command gets printed. Anyways, it worked. I'm not gonna complain about that. So there it is. It does what we want. Look after.
We see the end result, the invocation, the final invocation in the log.
Oh, good point. Shit.
Where are the flags?
You're right. That didn't work.
I mean, it didn't work, but it cannot not work. There was an error.
Yep. And it exited. So okay, let me do that again. Less thrashing around this time. We added -L. See what's happening. Okay, there it is. -- all targets, all features, and there it is. Cargo Clippy.
Why is it what?
That's working.
It's otherwise empty. But for the
Yep. That's not surprising though, right? We saw that the default was empty array for the setting we tried to override originally.
Okay. This is several steps removed. Like even our workaround is not as nice as we would have wanted the workaround to be.
Yeah,
we have a workaround in the workaround.
I think a less gross way of doing this would be go back to the original thing we tried to do, right? This one, and then override the depths one to not do a check or something.
We do not, or something, right? Because it should do a check. Should do a bit.
Should
do
it?
a build. I don't actually. I don't even
it should do
know
a build. Does it really need to do a check?
There is no check. Like there's a bit of the problem is Clippy. Like when build does a check, okay, that's obvious, right? But Clippy is not a wrapper for build, and that's a bit of kind of a cargo problem, right? What I really want to do is build and with the added value the Clippy provides in the checking. Sometimes, because if we do check and then like cargo Clippy and then cargo build, then we've probably duplicated some effort.
I see.
I'm not sure that, and this is not a Nix problem, so cargo problem. I'm not sure there's a solution for that, but I can imagine quite a few people would like a solution to that.
Mm-hmm.
That would be interesting to investigate. But I wouldn't expect there to be a solution to that at this point. Because I
Yep.
would have known about it, and NCI would have, and Crane would have been built differently. Clippy would have been integrated into build, and then you don't need. So we do need check because we do want Clippy to run for the depths because we don't. Otherwise, they don't. They will not be Clippy.
Mm-hmm.
So whatever workaround we have here, I think it's fine. The solution, a solution, is in NCI somewhere. I'm not even sure at this point, off the top of my head, what we are asking for.
Yeah. Sorry. I know this is just a workaround and this needs to be fixed in NCI, but
Check command.
check. What was the original build? It was flags, right? I'm just trying to get back to the original workaround that didn't work because it was build flags. There it is. Build flags. Then this will fail in the depths with a duplicate.
Yes.
There we go. But we can fix that by just skipping the check phase, right? So like,
or if we skip the check phase in the.
Is that a problem?
Yes, because we don't. So how do we get Clippy on the depths?
I don't know that we do. I mean, maybe that's the bug or a bug. Like, should we do clip? Like what in like the Python
Typically,
ecosystem, you don't lint all your dependencies. It's just a
yes,
bunch of
but
noise you have no control over.
and I don't mean to lint all my. We don't mean to lint the dependencies. We mean to lint because so cargo without Nix, outside of Nix. You just do cargo Clippy with the workspace flag, with all targets, with all features,
Mm-hmm.
and then it covers your workspace packages, not your foreign dependencies.
Okay.
Crane places us in this odd situation where each target becomes like a derivation and depends on a derivation that has the local and foreign dependencies.
Mm-hmm.
And therefore, if we want to Clippy all the local packages, we have to either Clippy them explicitly, each one, which I guess we could do, or we enable Clippy for the depth DRV as well.
So sorry, I'm not remembering. Does the depth DRV include
The foreign and local?
Okay, so the depth DRV includes okay. So if that's true, we conducted an experiment quite some time ago where we intentionally introduced a Clippy error in DB context or whatever. How did we end up seeing? And it worked. It did the thing. We saw the error show up from the next build. How did that work?
It must have reached depth DRV. It must have been from the depth DRV. We must have overridden the check command.
But it's not
there
overridden.
as well.
Like, we've seen the code, and we've looked at the logs. We know it's running on cargo check.
Show me again.
Yeah. So let's repro that. So I'm going to simplify this to what we had before, which was just that, I believe. Does that sound right?
The default one.
Yeah. And then in DB context, circlib, I'm going to reintroduce the absurd comparison. And my hypothesis here is this is going to fail. I think it's going to fail not in the depths derivation. I think the depths derivation is going to succeed. Why don't we see the depths derivation building? Is that because it was cached for me?
Well, if it was cached, this would have busted it.
I mean, if I truly did undo the code right back into the exact same state it was in. Okay, so that fits my theory, right? This is not the depths derivation that failed. This is us running Clippy at the top level.
A moment, I'm not looking. I'm looking now, not seeing. I am seeing. Yes. PR Tracker API.
Yeah. So I think the answer is like, it's totally fine not to run Clippy in the depths derivation. That's how NCI works right now. I think that's correct. Because when you turn around and run Clippy in the top level derivation, it then does the checks it needs to do.
May I see make Clippy only implementation?
That's down here.
So the source is always the entire source. And if you run this on the package, and the DB context is a dependency of that package, and it's a local dependency. If it's a remote dependency, it wouldn't bother.
Sure.
If it's a local dependency, it would lint it with Clippy. That makes sense.
Seems like what's happening, right?
Yes.
The only thing I'm surprised about is the fact that I didn't even see the depths derivation build, and I assume that's just because I recreated the exact same code before.
Okay.
Now, if I run this again, we're going to see the depths derivation build, right? We must. No. I'm super confused about that. Are we wrong about where these things live? Is it possible that DB context doesn't end up in the depths DRV?
I thought we concluded that the depth DRV has both local and foreign, but maybe that's not the criteria. Is it some simply different criteria?
I mean, that change I just made should have busted the depths, and it didn't, right?
That's why my first speculation was that it's only the foreign.
Yeah.
Because that makes sense, because it all revolves around, here is a cargo lock for the foreign dependencies.
Yeah.
And all of them get to be a derivation. So that makes sense.
Yeah. Okay. So anyways, I think what NCI is doing is reasonable, but arguably inefficient because it's running cargo check on the depths in this Clippy derivation. There's no reason to do that, right?
What are the depths? What do you mean cargo check on the depth? Oh, you noticed that? Okay. Okay. But that's not NCI, is it? It's Crane.
Well, I mean, yeah, NCI is not overriding it, right?
Mm-hmm.
And
You're saying
since it's
Crane shouldn't be running. It should only be doing cargo build on the depth DRV.
like, this is what I'm talking about, right? The depths derivation here.
Yes.
Why are we spending time running cargo check? Is that useful?
If it's only foreign, then it will be discovered anyway. You can't build. This will happen again. You can't build your derivation.
This is the thing I'm saying NCI should do. Possibly.
It's a trade-off. But
Is
it's a
to
trade-off, right? Like to catch things early. Arguably, most of the time you won't catch anything early because these would be tested packages, but
right.
They don't necessarily need to be, right? You could have them from all sorts of locations.
Yeah.
Anyway, that's kind of outside the scope of our. It's outside of our purview.
Good use of the new word. So what we've got here is a possible workaround, right? Like this will do the thing we want and we'll get past the issue in the depths.
I think a purview is also a screen of a spectrum analyzer. What's it called? What's called that graphical when you have audio and you turn it into like a visual?
Fast Fourier transform?
And you get
oscilloscope? Waveform analysis?
just any kind of visualization of audio.
Yeah.
And the cat purring. That's a purview.
Cat purring? Is that one
yeah,
of the
if you
it's a
if
you visualize
on a cat purring.
Yes, the waveform cat purring. Then it sure. I'm with you. What's that called? Synesthesia? Synesthesia?
Yes, I never experienced that.
Okay, well, this is compiling the depths. Okay, so anyways, we should start filing an issue, right? That's what we're doing.
We should finalize our branch.
Okay. So this is our workaround. I think this smells nicer than this one, right?
But why is it okay? Why did we say this doesn't work earlier? What's
Well, all we had tried earlier, we didn't have this line of code.
But okay, we didn't
we
have
this. Which then caused the depth DRV build phase to fail because all targets ended up in there twice.
Sorry. So this is our. I don't understand. I don't.
Sorry.
What did we not have that before?
This is the very first successful workaround that we came up with. Is just these 3 lines of code here. What you see on my screen right now, this thing, without those
I
other.
thought we tried that though.
This does not. Yeah, this does not work.
This does not work. Okay, I remember
This
that.
fails when building the deps DRV because the deps DRV's build phase has a
Uh-huh.
cargo check incantation that already
Yes.
has
Right.
an all targets in it or something, or maybe all features. I can't remember.
Mm-hmm.
So it fails because you get this duplicate
Sure.
CLI flag. And so then what I'm proposing, maybe a better fix rather than this, which is kind of like funky, like bashy funkiness, is let's add the two flags and then let's just neuter the build phase in the depths.
How can you not build the depths? What is currently the build phase of the depths? The default one?
Well, let me show you. So if I do a nix build, reset nix build -l, we'll see it go by and fail. I think this will fail pretty quickly.
Wait, what did you just run? I don't see the command. I see only the output.
Nix build with -l. Here we are in the depths.
Sure. Yeah, but try actually building the API.
I did.
This is Clippy. Try
We're
building
not
the
changing
API.
anything about the API here.
But the depths you are. Because it won't have its depths.
I'm not sure I understand. This is totally independent of this.
Oh. Oh. Oh.
I guess, okay, maybe what you're pointing out is that like we're being even more wasteful. Maybe
No, I
the
wasn't
depths.
pointing that out. I was just missing the fact that we're not overriding it for the depths of the API package. We're overriding it for the depths of
Yeah.
the check package of API Clippy, which is fine. We don't need to build them at all. And now you're pointing out that we don't that this could be further optimized by like not having depths at all.
Well, yeah, or maybe like in an ideal world, this one would actually
No,
benefit
it cannot
from
have
that one.
no depths. How does it end up with its, because I think they don't need to be built. They just, the source code needs
Yeah.
to be available.
Yeah. So the source code's
So
available. They're not built.
but so what's the default build phase for them, for the depths DRV?
Well, it's hard to. I haven't figured that out yet. That's an interesting question that I'd like to know the answer to. So this is the
I
depths
don't want to
DRV.
know the answer to. I want a granular derivation per crate solution. I don't want
Sure.
to know the details of this hack.
Okay.
Sorry for
No, that's fine. So what I'm proposing is that we go with this as our workaround.
that seems reasonable. Just merge the Rust crane, please.
Sure. And you've changed, Shahar.
I pick my battles, right?
Well,
He who fights and runs away.
okay. So that's a workaround. So I'm gonna add a to-do file issue with NCI. But we can get this branch finished up other than that, right?
But also, I also I think we want to remove that to do there.
Okay.
Finish it, and then show here's what we did. Here's our work.
Okay.
Better?
That's fine. Okay, so I'm going over to Fetcher. I'm doing the same thing.
Merge checks as well.
Fetcher. Merge checks. Yes. Fair. Okay. And thing.
I also grew to prefer this.
Yeah, they're both nice. I will admit that I'm not totally it's like I like having this style until it gets to be too much. And then I get annoyed that I lose where I am.
I reserve the right to change my mind about anything at any time.
And I wasn't telling you couldn't change your mind, but I have the right to point it out.
It was not a response to me imagining that you were.
Sure.
It was a statement for the world.
All right. Okay. Well, that's a little nasty, but whatever. It's a nasty workaround. So, we're in business. Okay. Do we get to delete these 2 lines of code now?
Yes, we saw it triggering in the tests, which is not a default target. That's why you need to say all target. You run cargo check, cargo build, cargo clippy. There are default targets there implicit.
Mhm.
That's the point.
Awesome. Okay. Great. Now if we look for, I think we're down to this override adders issue, and I think we have the skills to probably do this now. So I'm going to rotate. I feel like I've been at this for more than
You've been
7
waiting for me
minutes.
to yawn to rotate.
All right. There are a couple of clippy thingies that I'm going to leave in there for you to resolve.
There's a new Superman film coming up.
Superman. Oh, I am not up to date on Superman films.
Don't get me started on
2025.
films. But one thing I am thrilled about. I want to see more of that is coming. That more is coming. Marvel's Daredevil.
Oh man, I
What?
watched that show.
You watched the show? Wasn't it
I
a
mean,
pretty good show?
I enjoyed it. I don't
Yeah.
remember if I saw all of it, but that was a while ago. Did it pick
Mm-mm.
back up or something?
There's a trailer for some more.
How many seasons were there? There were 3 seasons. I'm pretty sure I saw all of it.
And then there were all of the there was like 4 characters there, right? It's a
Well, it
family
triggered
of
some spin-offs, is it? Right, there was the like
they were
Jessica
not
Jones
spin-offs.
and no?
They were their own, or maybe there were, but they tried their best to be their own. Yeah, the big black guy.
Yeah, yeah,
The
yeah.
the thin woman
The
was way too strong for her size.
Jessica Jones.
Jessica Jones. And the curly haired blonde guy, I really didn't like that show.
Don't remember that.
It's got Iron Fist or something. I didn't like. And then there was like all of them together. It was called Marvel's Avenger, Marvel's
Oh, I
something.
definitely was not tuned into any of that.
All of them together. So I watched all of that stuff. But by far my favorite was the Marvel's Daredevil.
Yeah, I definitely saw at least 1 season of probably 2 seasons of Marvel's Daredevil, but and then Rachel and I watched like 2 seasons of Jessica Jones, and I think that was all I've seen in that ecosystem.
All right, let's look for your strange marker.
Oh, I didn't leave it. Sorry for the clippy checks at least. Those are just hidden in the Rust code.
Isn't there to do at least? No.
No, there's nothing. The to do is those
There's-
failing clippy checks, which should hopefully fail now.
Oh, well, that was something with Max, right?
Yeah. But I sure would like to see them appear by
Here's
running.
flag check.
Yeah.
But you should keep going, right?
Sure. And then while that's checking, I guess we could start working on the overriding of the thingy.
Chug. So I don't want to misrepresent the fact that I don't like this syntax, but maybe that would do is nicer. Services, PR tracker, API package, and we want to. This we simply it's not available to us, right? What do we get for this?
I think that's going to
Missing attribute.
override adders doesn't exist.
Mm-hmm. So it's simply a matter of extend modules list something.
And then what? Make derivation dot don't strip equals true or something? It's probably derivation dot, right?
Because this is a student
That
attribute.
would be my guess.
Makes sense, right?
Yeah.
The question is, will it still apply at all? I mean, if it worked with Crane, it should still work with Crane, right?
Yeah. We'll see. I mean, it might be challenging to test. I guess we'd have to trigger a crash in our code and see
This
what the error looks like.
Didn't format.
It's already perfectly formatted.
There's no way that this is formatted. There's no way that this would be accepted. There's no way. Sorry, I don't think so. Do you think this? I think we're simply not using Nix font. We're using Alejandra,
Oh, okay.
right?
Maybe.
Here.
Yeah, I know we're using Alejandra. I don't have the rules or behavior of them internalized.
Okay, so here's one. You want to do? Let's see what happened here. Unexpected character. That's nice.
Darn it. I guess that's more important than the thing we're looking at, isn't it?
Okay, yeah, we can get back to this. Okay, put it aside. We have one of them possibly working, but we have this problem now, right?
Yeah.
So what does this look like? Looks like is it symlink join?
Maybe. I don't think so.
This is the top. I'm at the top.
Yep. Yeah, the command being run is not being shown, which is annoying.
This is a concatenation, a merge from different. So here's API, and then if we API config, and then DB context, and then fetcher config, and then fragile child, which we don't actually want. Even if this works, this is not the result that we want. We want only a couple of packages specifically. Why did we think that this would work? program docs currently is just the default, whatever it would do, right? That's not what we want. What we want is to build the docs for two packages. Want to see how this is implemented?
Sure.
I'll take all of this and split it. And then I'll take, this out of here. Okay. And then another over here, and then I'll take it out here. I'll split this and go to, what is it? Xargo integration, right? See, here's an editor.
Yeah.
And let me pull. And then there's a program, docs only, make docs only. Oh, and there's combine docs packages.
Doc merge.
So make docs only package.
Wait,
The build phase is cargo doc, cargo build flags, no depths. Makes sense. Profiles, cargo build profile. Package is configured. Check phase skipped. And install phase is make forth move target, which is where, and cargo build target will be available for some reason. Doc. So move the doc to out. That's pretty simple. So we are going to have derivations with each of them having the contents of the build documentation, right? You with me?
Yep.
Combine, then let's see if we can, start from the end here. Make dir p out, make dir crates, lib concat map string step with new line, make copy crate, docs. This is, it's a concat map. So this is the mapping function. And this is the list of doc packages. Make copy crate takes this package and then copy something with preserving mode and ownership, whatever.
Yep.
This is the documentation path, store path, into crates. Get crate name docs. Get crate name something. Okay. And then make docs. So we have, and then there's this doc merge, which is a package.
Yeah, which is apparently written by Uzdakra, which I'm surprised by. Did he write a whole package to do this thing for us?
That's prolific. I didn't mean. What are you talking about? GitHub doc row. It's a fork. This crate provides a primitive doc merge command. It does exactly one thing. Lets you combine the cargo doc output from multiple crates into one location and adds an index. If you have multiple crates that you want to combine to a single documentation site, this crate might be what you need. While it's not a requirement, this crate is written with the expectation that you're usually running cargo doc with no depths because you're trying to document your own crates and not their dependencies. And you have multiple source invocations and then one dest invocation, flag, error. That's what it does here, and I'm not sure what echoes, right? Maybe doc merge does the printing of those lines.
Yep, it seems like it does.
But that doesn't quite matter because we know what's happening, right? But what we don't know what's happening is the error, the failure to do so. But even if it succeeded, that's not the documentation that we're currently building. It contains too many packages.
Yes.
So docs packages here. It's mapping.
Filter. Exclude from project docs. Oh, we'd really rather have that be the other way around, wouldn't we?
But we can do this for the default for the project. Change the default for the project, maybe.
Oh,
Well,
I see.
here is the next thing.
Okay.
The next thing. The next comment. Jeremy, stop and share.
Alrighty. Okie dokie. So, do I also have NCI pulled up? Not doing anything in Dream to Next at the moment. Exclude from project docs. Okay, so that should be a documented NCI option. Exclude from project docs. Okay. And you're saying we can do this? There's a default for this? Not seeing the option here.
I'm saying there's default for everything that is crates name something. It's the per system NCI project.
Okay.
Something.
Great. So I'll go to nci.nix. First system NCI projects default, and we'll say exclude from project docs equals true. Like that. And now we should see
empty documentation.
Wait, have I actually? I don't think I did a mob start. Go dot mob start 7. Ready? Okay, here we go. Now, if I do a nix build program docs, does not exist. How sure are you about that?
Not just a guess.
Okay. Bummer. Okay. So
we could we have a few, right? Like you list the contents of crates directory. All of these.
Yep.
2 of them are relevant: API config and fetcher config. The rest,
yep,
we don't want in the docs.
So how
it's also a bit of a trip mine, because if we add another crate, it'll end up in the docs and we wouldn't know it.
Yep.
So Does the Linux packages module system give you a way to change the default of an option?
No. What does this default to if we actually check?
False?
Why can I not find this? Did I not have this tab open already? Let's just open it again. Exclude from program docs. Default is false. Okay. We can't do something clever with a map, can we? Like map over all these and set them to false or true?
We could. I think we could.
Okay. But then setting the other ones to true would require like a make force or something. Or to do a map with a filter.
We could change the make default. Yeah, like either way, we would probably need to do something, or like filter.
Right.
That's reasonable. Let's try that.
The map with the filter.
Mm-hmm.
Where do you want to put it?
In program docs.
All right. Per system, so we're talking. This is the setting we're going for.
I'm kind of changing my mind because what I want. So we can use our own internal option. Because I don't want the one. I want to set them all to false and then to make. Yeah. Why don't we do that? Set them all to false and then force true in each module. Does that make sense?
That sounds reasonable. So, I don't know how to write this map. This is going to be like nci.creates equals, and then we're going to build a header set for each, like map. It's going to be like this will be name. Isn't it going to be like map list adders or something, or what? So food. We haven't written the function yet. What are we mapping over?
I think we can map over the attr values. The attr values of config and
the attr names.
Yeah, and let's use pipe instead of this.
Okay. My hand's on a lib here.
You can start with the value and then go pipe it.
Is it lib.pipe?
No, not libpipe, the pipe operator, baby.
Do we have access to that here?
I think so.
Okay. I don't know what it looks like. Is that?
That's what it looks like, but the way Nix formats it is at the beginning of the next line.
Okay. Well, I'll let Nix do that.
Mm-hmm.
So
wonder whether Alejandro has that.
Map attrs, and then
not to map attrs, to attr values.
Why do we want the values? Don't we just want the names of the crates?
Attr names. Sorry, attr names. Because I think if we try to map attrs, we might get in circular.
Okay, so now we got all the names, and now what I want to do is map list to attrs.
It's attrs. It's list to attrs. It's not map. Is there map? It's list to attrs.
Great. right, and list adders. I don't know if it's.
But we need to map the list before that, and then pipe it to list to adders.
Okay. So list
Right.
adders takes a list of key value pairs.
Yes.
Okay, great. Map. So now I've got adder names. So this is adder. This is crate name,
Right.
and we're mapping this to like key equals crate name.
There's a helper where you don't need a literal
This thing.
name, but yes.
Okay, and this just is like what crate name.
Name.
Okay. And the value here is exclude from project docs equals true. Is that what you had in mind?
I think so.
Okay. Let's see how that. Oh, Alejandra likes that. Aha, Alejandra doesn't understand this, does it? Or is this actually a typo?
We have pipes somewhere.
No, we do not.
It's because Alejandro, we don't have pipes. Okay, let's go and let's start by replacing Alejandro with next one.
Let's write this with lib.pipe,
Lib.
and then we
Okay.
can change it. Does that sound good?
Can do.
All right. I'll file the issue. Do-do-do-do.
Though I wouldn't. There is an issue. Is there an issue for filmed with next? Okay, there isn't.
Nix.
No.
I don't see anything about it.
Okay.
Place Alejandra with Nix.
Next. No hyphen. I think we'll end up doing it before merging this anyway.
Oh, really?
I suggest that. But in any case, fine, whatever.
Lib.pipe.
Pipe.
Then what do you do?
The
Give it the
value.
original value, and then these just turns into an array.
Then the list. In the list, you have to use parentheses on that. Yes.
Great. Okay. Great. So now if I next build program docs, infinite recursion.
Yeah.
I am not astonished that that didn't work. I feel like I've tried to do this before.
Let us think about this. We need to use a different option. This is based on something. We can base it on the output. Can you in a REPL? Can you lib trace the config NCI outputs?
Like that. Yeah, there's stuff there, including default. Seems like we could use that.
So what's default? Why is it there? Default is the name of the project.
Don't know. But what you had in mind was map over that thing instead.
Yeah, but default won't work. There's no such crate.
Mm-hmm. So I want to see that error. Okay. At least 2 documentation paths. So then what we would do.
Sorry. That worked, right?
Looks like it did. I guess there's just no enforcement on invalid
And
crate
can you
names.
trace like what's under default?
What's under default? I don't think I understand.
What is default?
What do you want me to trace?
Output config and CI outputs default.
Gotcha. Yeah, I don't know. That's the thing.
All targets? Check. Clippy dev shell docs. How is that an output? Docs. Dev shell. Packages. Can you go under packages as well?
Nothing.
Nothing. Okay. Fine. Never mind then. If it
So
works,
what
it
we're
works.
talking about doing is nci.crates dot pr tracker API dot exclude from project docs equals true, and that should give us a. It doesn't like this being in the same file or something. You can get away with this with them in different modules, right?
Yes.
Which is what we're going to do anyways. So I'll do that. I will combine that in a second. I just want to see the error about conflicting values. No error about conflicting values, really? Oh, I gotta set that to false. Huh?
Right.
Here we go. Great. And then we'll give that a lib.mcforce or something. Or make default. Would we do?
Yeah, you
Does
can
that work?
make default here.
Okay.
I'm
Great.
not sure though, because it already has a default.
That's a different type of default, though, isn't it? Maybe not.
It may be a different default, not a real default, but it's just a number, right? It's a number based
Right.
authority.
Now I'm confused. It said at least 2. I haven't done the fetcher yet.
Maybe the make default didn't work. Maybe it's like true now.
I think we're building everything. Yeah.
We'll see.
Okay.
What happened.
Oh, no. Wow, it got there. It just took a lot longer to get there. Maybe because it built the docs. That sounds reasonable. So it was just a evaluation order thing.
Cool.
Okay. Fetcher, default. Getting there. NCI crates. PR tracker. Fetcher. I'll combine those in a second. Just want to get that build going. Okay, here we go. And combining now. Very cool. There's one. And over here. Right.
You notice that we're setting an option for the fetcher config in the fetcher module, for the API config in the API module. That's okay, right?
I mean, that seems like a reasonable place to put it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
But
The
maybe
only
there was a more
reason
nuanced
that
thing you were
crate
saying there.
exists, no, the only reason that crate exists, those two crates, those two kind of sub crates exist, is because we want the documentation only for them, for the single struct that they contain. Otherwise, we wouldn't. They wouldn't exist. Those structs would have been in the where they're used.
The structs would have been where they're used. You're talking about the structs that define the environment variables? They would
Yes.
be, well, they're used in API and Fetcher.
The only reason API config PR tracker API config crate exists is because if it's part, if the
Oh, I didn't realize this was a separate crate. I did not
there we
realize this
go.
was a separate crate. That was the part I was missing.
Okay.
Okay. So then I'm confused. Am I picking the wrong crate here? Is that not doing what we want?
Yes.
Okay. So we documented the wrong crate. Is that what you're like? What we actually
Yes.
want is PR tracker API config.
Yes. But
What's
that's
all
not
that?
what I meant to say. You discovered this.
Okay. What were you saying, man?
I thought it was already this way, that you did the right thing, and I was just alluding to the fact that it's a different crate, but it's in this same module.
I see. Okay. Yeah, I did not realize they were in separate crates. I was not bobbing with you when that happened, so that's my excuse for not knowing that. Okay. PR tracker. So I did the wrong thing here as well. This can go back to that madness, and this will get a config dot exclude from project.
We
Then
can
I
merge
suppose we can
crates.
have crates. Yep. Okay, and then I wouldn't be surprised if I've got these crate names wrong. Cargo Tommel? Okay, no, looks good. Great. We built some
Merge
docs.
NCI crates here.
Merge NCI crates here.
9
Thank you.
9.
Yep. Okay. So there's a bug in his merge tool that we are no longer running into. Do we want to identify that and report it?
No, I don't think his merge tool should even exist. A workaround.
Yeah. All right. Sounds good. What is it a workaround for, though? It's a workaround for like a Dream to Nix or Brain Dream to Nix issue?
Dream to Nix probably. You can't build something for a workspace that I don't know why.
Right, I'm rotating.
I don't know why. Really. Like all you need is the tool. You need the tool chain, and you need the source, and you need to run a command.
Yeah.
And I know what the command would be.
So we're getting close to the end here. Are we motivated to push through and get this thing merged to main this week? Because we're very close.
Maybe.
I'm down
not,
if you want to push through.
Yeah, I'm chill.
Okay. I'm going to rotate to you. The last thing that we know of is the remaining conflict markers, the
Well,
overriding.
did we look at the docs?
We've not looked at the docs yet.
So
That might be a good idea.
Here is building program docs. Let me remove that trace. Trace. here is the tree. Tree
Tree sitter.
sitter. Tree sitter select thingy.
Yeah,
I have
and it
it
was giving you
in
like
a
little link or hints
like
to.
yeah, like this.
Interesting.
Mm.
Cool.
I can go up, right? Like select all of this.
Mhm.
I can be here and do. Sometimes I'm not sure what will happen. Like, what's this? Yeah. Oh, that makes sense. This is useful, I think.
Yeah.
I should use this more. That's why I did this just now. Okay. I don't particularly mind the default is also here because if it ever like is a
Yeah,
problem that it would actually completely fail because default is not a
I agree.
derivation or whatever.
Yep.
And this is built. So let's Firefox it.
Dope.
There's no index.
That's a bad sign.
Uh,
Uh-oh.
help settings. I don't think it's. I don't think we currently have an index. That's why I'm not
Oh, okay.
complaining. Each of these has an index. Of course, it showed up on a other screen. Here.
Oh, this looks promising.
Here is
All
our
right.
documentation. Okay, let's compare with PR tracker, Floyd, configuration via environment. Okay, let's do a tab detach. And let's put this. I didn't. Hold on. What? Where's the other route? Uh-huh. Okay. I want confused. What's going on here? Right. Okay. This and that, this and that, and this and that. Okay. But I want to see them side by side. So I think what I'm going to do is split this, go over here, move it here, and it's side by side. Look at me.
Powering up. Sway. Look very similar. And how do you navigate from fetcher to API?
This is deployed. Oh, it doesn't appear until you go into the top, and then there's crates.
Okay.
Top, and then there's crates.
Okay. Such a weird thing to click on to go up, but all right. Not gonna. This is not a regression. So great. I think we're good.
The floor is lava, and you're like, okay, it's not a regression.
I mean, I do not like these docs. They. It is a clever hack, but I'm not a fan. That said, I don't want to like die on this hill right now. It's like I want this to be a successful project, and I want us to feel motivated to come up with a better way to do the docs because it's a successful project. So this is totally fine. I also expect this to get used in a Nix context where people are going to be using the Nix module docs anyways.
Oh, wait, what? No. So, what about the path? Is the path the same?
Here's that programs. I don't know what that is.
Yeah, that's ours. That's deployment specific.
Okay.
I think
And
we're
it
good.
looks the same. Nice.
I think we're good.
Awesome.
Yeah, that's good. Okay,
Sweet.
sweet. Yeah. Okay. Okay. So, at this point, we deserve a git diff VCI.
Well,
No,
there's still the
now
conflict markers,
there are the
so we can.
conflicts. So we tried. There's a Nix Lake check. One of them should not fail. Well, maybe should we see what that is, right? Like extend modules. This one. How do we run this one? Create locally. Nix build checks integration create locally.
Looks good. Oh, dot config dot public
Config.public.
in parentheses.
No, no
I
need.
think you need parentheses because that dot config is going to try to navigate through the adder set, which only has modules in
Oh,
it.
this is a call.
Yeah, that's what I'm talking about.
You. Okay, that's right. I'm going to keep the rotation because this will involve.
Yeah. Let's use our most powerful machine.
That seems like it evaluated.
Yep. We are running a test.
But how did you remember how we actually tested whether we have not stripping?
I mean, we never tested it. We just added it because it was useful when we were developing. So to test it, we would
Not
add like a
we
crash.
manually tested. Yeah. I think we want to do that. So this is integration test create locally of.
Yeah.
Maybe we'll use it on a different one. So
I mean, if you go to
now
like
that this.
API main.rs and add a crash, we should see if we get line numbers or not.
Sure. Good idea.
Panic at the disco.
It's a typical panic phrase, right?
Sure. I feel okay interrupting this build. I don't think it's going to tell us anything useful.
What about all the depths being built? And
Oh,
all
are
the
you?
other, I don't know,
This
VM
is
related things being built.
building a VM right now, so I think you've built your
There you go.
packages. Okay, well, whatever. Sweet, sweet, sweet. Give us some line numbers. This is going to be messy, right? Like it's going to be a system D unit that's crashing repeatedly, and a test is going to time out.
Right.
So this might be easier and faster if you do -L.
I have a recording in the evening.
For your podcast?
Yes.
All right.
Full-time Nix. Plug, plug, plug.
Who are you interviewing? Or is that a secret?
It's a secret.
All
I don't know
right.
why. I want to be professional, so.
Sure. Cool. Well, I hope the interview goes well.
Thank you. What the
Oh,
heck?
can't compile.
Oh no. Wait, why didn't I see it here? I need to restart my editor. Yeah, I need to reload. Wait, what? Why is it? Because this is vertical. Here. No, I get it. I can do it.
Are you talking to me?
That was to the audience. Never forget, there's an audience as well.
Oh yeah, on display.
Wonder what
Much
our
better behaved.
statistics are by now.
Views?
Yeah.
I haven't checked. Part because I hate looking at and listening to myself.
No H word, if you don't mind.
Sorry. I do not enjoy looking at or listening to myself.
It's not a religious thing. You're not like offending me or anything. Why isn't it in my editor as well? What's going on? Do we have Rust download? Well, what's LSP info? What
I don't know, but that's a
is
different
it
question. It's late for me, and I would love to get this PR pushed over the finish line.
I don't see Rust Analyzer. Auto start false.
Failed to get version.
That
Tried blah blah blah. That's probably just noise, huh?
is it?
I think I've seen that before, where
Okay.
NeoVim tries to run dash dash version on whatever binary it's been given, and not all of them actually respond.
It tried all this.
Yeah.
I guess Rust Analyzer just doesn't provide that.
Yep.
Evil Rust Analyzer. So what's the deal? If I do cargo check package workspace. There you go.
Yep.
Okay, then let's panic at the end. We
Well,
cannot
we
panic
aren't
at
going to
the
get
end here
there, are
because
we?
there's a wait. Then let's panic. Let's panic here.
Can we call a function that panics or something? I don't know how clever cargo
I
is.
could even override it, but I don't see it in my editor. You can do an allow something, but I don't see.
You could comment out the rest of the function.
Comment out, sure. But again, maybe I can, but maybe there will be you can't do Rust without tooling, right? I
It's
don't
going to
know what
complain
kind
about
of
unused thingies.
yeah.
That's fair.
Okay, check that. There we go. Yeah,
Yep.
that doesn't work.
Yep, you're right.
Well, I discovered that I don't have diagnostic. What?
So what does LSP info say? Or LSP check or whatever? LSP info, I think. That's the one you were looking at. So there's a process running. And what is in the log file? Did you look at that already?
No, where's the log file?
-- log file. It's like the command being run. Well, there are two different log files, but I'm curious about the Rust Analyzer one. Yeah.
Whoops. Nothing?
Okay. Not very useful.
Because it didn't Start?
Well, does it have a PID?
Does it?
Doesn't say the PID here, but I feel like
What's this buffer number?
that must mean there are 2 Rust files open. You can have like invisible buffers that correspond to other files that Rust Analyzer decided to look at.
Here's one.
Mm-hmm. I do not know.
Okay. Let's say
But I
we
mean,
don't
maybe this is
solve this.
informative. I should restart
Mm,
my Vim. Because, like, we did have to add Rust Analyzer to the shell, maybe.
we did. I could change a different branch and see whether it works there. It's a project thing. I could go to a different project and see whether it works there. Right? Let's try the branch first. Switch name. Year end just reloaded, right? Close this editor, open another editor. API main.
That looks like it's doing things. Was that
It is.
happening before?
Yeah.
All the stuff at the bottom right?
I think so.
Okay.
And and I did also get. I did get the.
Hey, yo.
Oh,
Cooling.
what?
Do you think it's something we dropped from the shell?
Just the info here. It should also be the same version of Rust Analyzer because December 2nd. Keep this open. Switch mob NCI. Dear and reloaded. Editor. API main. All that's happening.
Okay.
Happening. I got the inlay hints, LSP info. Could possibly compare.
It's just going to turn into a mystery because it's working now.
Same version.
Sure. I don't.
Wait, who said it's working? It's not working. It's not working. Look. Panic.
Oh, okay. All right. But inlay hints are there and other things are working. I had not understood that.
Maybe it's clip. What does it have to do with? Maybe there is no Clippy. There's no Clippy. It's no Clippy. Just a Clippy thing, right? Clippy.
Okay. It's a Clippy
Cargo Clippy. There is Clippy.
I'm surprised to hear that this is a Clippy thing.
Clippy is part of the. Wait, maybe it's not a Clippy thing. I don't know. Clippy is part of the toolchain, so we do have Clippy. So I don't know what this is, but it's in the project itself, right? It's in the branch. Problems and it's in the branch somehow.
Mm-hmm.
So we could take a look at it next time. We could also stop here. I'm fine with that.
Okay. Yeah. I don't know how we're going to remember to do this, though. So
M-
we should
We
either
don't
push
need to.
through or leave a note.
It doesn't matter. Like, this is unmissable, right? Like, if it's broken, it's broken. It should be fixed.
I mean, it wasn't obvious to me because, like, I've got inlay hints and.
I won't be able to.
Okay.
Like, we are leaving this in a state where the next thing we're going to do is the same thing we're doing now.
I see. Yeah, that's fair. All right. Let's call it.
Call it.
All right. Well, we'll finish this branch up next week.
Roger.
So close.
That's okay.
Do we
Good work.
want to get? No, we'll deal with that later. I think we are going to want to file an issue with NCI about that ridiculous workaround for the Clippy check.
We have the workarounds. No rush.
Yep. Alrighty. Good
Thank you,
stuff.
Jeremy. Good work.
You too.
And thank you for watching. Please like, share, and subscribe. And if you want to join us and suffer the consequences of our own choices, then come and join us and we'll suffer together. But this is fun. It's not. It's a very, very philosophical question whether suffering is necessary and for how long, and whether we ever get out of this mess in code and otherwise. So until next time, be well.
Bye.